that reproductive justice is economic justice. There is no economic justice for the baby because the baby's dead, right?
I wouldn't refer, I don't really know how to answer your question. I would refer to
Was
a
the baby
fetus.
dead or alive?
We're referring to a fetus.
Okay, is the fetus dead or alive after an abortion?
The fetus would be dead after an
Okay,
abortion.
all right.
Abortion remains one of the most debated issues in American public life, not only because it concerns personal autonomy and medical decision-making, but because it raises a fundamental question about when human life should be protected. For some, the conversation centers on women's rights and healthcare access. For others, the central issue is the life and dignity of the unborn child. The Senate took up that debate directly when Senator John Kennedy questioned economist Professor Caitlin Myers during a tense committee hearing on reproductive policy. The exchange quickly moved past prepared talking points and into the core issue: what the data actually shows, who interprets it, and how those interpretations shape federal law. Let's break down what happened, clearly and without spin.
Professor Myers, you are here at the invitation of my Democratic colleagues, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. In his opening statement, my good friend Senator Whitehouse said, I want to quote, "Reproductive justice is economic justice," close quote. Do you agree with that?
I might, as an economist, use the word rights, but yeah, I do agree with that.
Okay. That's not true for the baby, is it?
Well, first of all, I would refer to a fetus, not a
Yeah,
baby.
but that's, well, a fetus. I refer to it as a baby. That's not true for the baby, is it?
The evidence that I presented to you, Senator Kennedy, was evidence about measurable effects on the lives of women, families,
Right, I
and
got
children
that
who were
part, but that's
born.
not true for the baby, is it?
I'm sorry, I don't really understand
Well, it's
the
not
question.
true. Let me be
Let
clear.
me
I'm
back
sorry.
up. As an economist, I measure effects using data. I'm not here to talk about ethics, assignment of personhood. That's not my
Well, but you
role.
said you agreed with the chairman's statement that reproductive justice is economic justice. There is no economic justice for the baby because the baby's dead, right?
I wouldn't refer, I don't really know how to answer your question. I would refer to
Was
a
the baby
fetus.
dead or alive?
We're referring to a fetus.
Okay, is the fetus dead or alive after an abortion?
The fetus would be dead after an
Okay,
abortion.
all right. If the mother is healthy and the baby is healthy, do you support abortion up to the moment of birth?
So I think that's a really hard question to answer because that just doesn't happen. You're asking me about something that simply doesn't happen.
Well,
I
it's
think-
legal.
I will tell you
It's
that-
legal. It's legal in Vermont, New Jersey, Oregon, Colorado, New Mexico, Alaska, and the District of Columbia, and the Loon wing of the Democratic Party supports abortion up to the moment of birth. So, do you support that or oppose it?
I don't think, let me say, I'm here to talk about the economics of abortion.
No, you're here as an expert.
And
I'm just asking you
I
what
think you're
you
asking me a
believe.
question as a person, which I'll answer as a person.
Okay, tell me as a person.
I will tell you as a person that I have ambivalence about abortion. I will tell you as a person, I haven't personally had an abortion. And I will also tell you as a person looking at the evidence around me and understanding how complex the decisions are that people face.
Okay.
I'm just simply uncomfortable
I got to move on,
thinking that there's a
Professor, 'cause I don't
simple
think you're
answer that
going to
applies
answer
to
my
everyone.
question.
I trust women and their healthcare providers.
It's real simple. You either support abortion for a healthy mother and baby up to the moment of birth or you don't. And I don't think it's a difficult question. How about you, doctor? Do you support, if the mother is healthy and the baby's healthy, do you support abortion up to the moment of birth?
So, Senator, you're using really inflammatory language to talk about a medical procedure, and it's not a simple yes or no. Not to mention, when you make statements like that, you're erasing the grief
Right.
and the trauma that my patients
You're not
are
going to answer my
through.
question either, are you?
It's not a question that
I
can
think
be answered
I think I
in
know
an
your
appropriate
answer.
way,
I think I
Senator.
know your answer.
First, the context. The hearing focused on the economic impact of abortion access. Professor Caitlin Myers argued that reproductive autonomy is directly tied to financial stability, that when women can make decisions about pregnancy, their economic futures improve. But Senator John Kennedy shifted the discussion. He moved away from broad principles and pressed for concrete evidence, asking whether the data proves that access to abortion is the determining factor in economic outcomes. Kennedy then shifted to the ethical core of the debate. He asked Professor Myers, if the argument for abortion rests on economic outcomes, where do the ethics come in? Specifically, what is the status of the fetus? Kennedy posed the question directly. Is the fetus alive before the procedure and dead afterward? Myers acknowledged that biologically, yes, that is correct. From there, Kennedy turned to late-term abortion. He asked whether she supports abortion up to the moment of birth, even when both the mother and child are healthy. It was a pointed question, raising the distinction between medical necessity and elective choice. Instead of giving a direct yes or no, Professor Myers emphasized that late-term abortion cases are exceedingly rare and often medically complex.
Mrs. Ford, okay? Let's take a baby at 21 weeks. Hold up, Mike. This is a baby at 21 weeks, okay? The baby can feel pain, right?
Yes.
And the baby's pretty developed, right?
Yes.
And do you know the name of the procedure that the doctor would use to abort that baby at 21 weeks?
I'm not a doctor, but I believe it's a DNR,
It's called dilation and evacuation. Is that right?
as far as I understand, yes.
Yeah. And first, the doctor would dilate the cervix, and then the doctor would take what's called the doctor would call it a Sofer clamp. It's really a pair of pliers with sharp teeth on the end. And without giving the baby any pain medication, the doctor would go through the vagina, through the uterus, and start tearing the baby apart. Is that right?
As far as I understand the procedure.
Yeah, and she might start with the legs and pull them out, and the arms and pull them out, right? And then she might go for the heart or the spine and just pull the baby out piece by piece. Is that right? Without giving the baby pain medication.
That's what I understand the procedure to be.
Okay, but then you got to get the head out. The baby's dead, but maybe not. Maybe it's still in pain, but then you got to get the head out. And even with the cervix dilated, you got to get the head out, which is hard. So then the doctor would go in and use those pliers to crush the baby's head. Is that right?
As far as I understand.
And then she'd pull the head out, the crushed skull out, right?
Senator Kennedy, your time has expired here.
Well, you
and
gave
Senator
the
Stabenow is
others
waiting.
plenty of time, Mr. Chairman.
Just letting you know, your time's expired. You have
Okay.
other senators waiting.
Well, I was waiting when you were letting others. I'm sorry you don't want to hear about what happens
No, I don't think anybody
in
else
an
is
actual
going- I don't think
abortion, but
anybody else
I
has gone
thought that
over.
was what we were here to talk about.
No one else has gone over.
Yes.
Some of the witnesses went a little bit long, but on both sides. So
I thought we were here
trying to
about
control them.
protecting mothers and killing babies.
I'm going to turn to Senator Stabenow and Ms.
I'm sorry you
Phillips.
don't wanna hear
I'm
it.
sorry that this had to
Like
take
we've
place
got
in
a
front of
whole
you.
roster here.
My apologies.
Senator Kennedy then shifted to the specifics. He described the second trimester procedure known as dilation and evacuation, outlining it step by step for the committee. When the committee chair attempted to move the discussion along, Kennedy pushed back, arguing that the public deserves to understand the reality of the procedure, not just the policy language or economic arguments surrounding it. Kennedy's central point was clear. Debates about abortion cannot be separated into economic questions alone. Any discussion of access, cost, or policy must also address the ethical weight of ending a life. For Senator Kennedy, honesty means confronting difficult facts directly. Supporters describe his approach as necessary transparency. Critics argue it's political theater. Either way, the debate isn't fading, and the underlying questions are only becoming more urgent. For direct, unfiltered coverage of congressional hearings, subscribe to Congress Unpacked. We'll continue to break down what happens in the room without spin.